Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I want to talk about not boxing ourselves in. Don't box yourself in. A lot of people are holding themselves back in life with their fear of change. People are afraid to change, and they hold themselves back from their dreams. When you go for a dream, you have a goal, and you're trying to accomplish this goal. It takes a certain amount of risk. It's going to be a journey that's going to have ups and downs. There's going to be anxiety-filled days. Sure, there'll be highs, but there'll also be lows. And any person who has undertaken anything in their lives before knows this. When I start a business, and I've started many, I sit around and I think about the business plan, and then if I feel like it's good enough to move forward on, I start taking some initial steps towards it. And I know as I'm embarking on this journey, okay, there's going to be struggle involved. There's going to be adventure. It can be scary at times. I'm going to have to go through some legal things. I'm going to have to go through some uncomfortable things. I'm going to have some meetings that I don't like. I'm going to have to get licenses I don't want to get. Jump through some hoops. There's going to be a process with this. And a lot of people don't take that leap forward towards their goals, to willingly go forward into the shadow of the valley of death, to walk through it, because on the other side is where your goal lies. That's where your dream is. You're going to have to go through some struggle to get there, pay your dues. And it can be tough to give up a certain level of comfort. That's why it's important to kick with a firm boot. Kick your kids out at a certain age. When I was coming up, it was 18. At 18, you were joining the military, going to college, moving out into the bushes, whatever it was going to be for you, but you were going to go somewhere. You weren't going to be at home no more. And everybody I knew, girl, boy, anybody, everybody moved out, went off to college, went off to the military, went and got themselves apartments, lived in group houses. That was a big thing. 10 of us would get together and rent a house, trash it, and just go rent another house. But you weren't at your parents' anymore, because that was over. Now kids are living at their parents' house till they're 30. Person I know who lived with their mother until he lived with his mother until he was 30 or 31, and then got married. Met a beautiful woman and got married, and then he moved in with his wife. And I just thought that was weird. Never really having the experience of being out on your own as an individual, to go from your mother to your wife. Our fear of change, that becomes our comfort zone. And I understand our comfort zone is the goal, right? That's the whole fucking point, right? That's the American dream, right? Isn't that what it is? We start off suffering, and if you're lucky enough, you can get a good job or whatever and come up and have a good life, create a comfortable life with a nice house and a pool or whatever, you know? I mean, that's what I've done for myself. I got myself a nice little comfort zone here. Worked hard to get it. I remember being homeless. I've been poor in the ghetto, hung out in the streets with gangs. Now I have a good life. What the hell's wrong with that? But you don't want to get so settled into your good life, mowing your lawn, barbecuing out back. You don't want to get so settled into that to where you've put off goals and dreams that you've had your whole life, your destiny. You know, you ever felt like you had a destiny? You're destined to be greater than you are. Maybe not the greatest, but greater than you are. Maybe you had these dreams as a teenager and as a young man, and you gave up on them at some point. A lot of us do this. Reassess that shit as you get older. You realize if you're lucky enough to live a long life, that life really isn't that long after all. And it's important to take those chances and to try and get some of the things done, at least try. You know, I may not accomplish all my goals. I may not get to the promised land. I may not get to the other side. I may be stuck in the shadow of the valley of death my whole life, wandering, lost. But I would have tried. I'm trying pretty hard. When we find ourselves getting too far away from our dreams, we don't have dreams anymore, then you know you're settling too far into your comfort zone. It's time to marinate on some of your goals, some of the ones that you gave up on, or maybe come up with some new ones. I mean, I'm going through this in kind of a weird way right now because the motorcycle industry is on a slow decline and has been for the last, honestly, the last 10 years as I've been tracking it. I do a lot of research with the Motorcycle Industry Council. They're a very good source. Dealer News is another one for power sports industry statistics if you're interested in the motorcycle industry for some reason. But I've been studying this stuff religiously, and this scene is like the Titanic. We don't know what's going to happen. Electric bikes haven't really presented themselves as the future of the marketplace yet. The way it looks now is that the motorcycle industry could die out. There's more people leaving the industry than entering it. There's more people that are retiring, not riding anymore, and trading in their bikes for RVs, right? Like old people do. And not enough people are coming in now. Some of this is because of the manufacturers aren't really producing affordable starter bikes for young people to be inspired by. And I could go on this topic, but for me what it means is that at 50 years old, an industry that I've put my heart and soul into for the last 22, 23 years may come to an end. What am I going to do? What's the transition? What's next for Sky? So for me, it's a little bit scary because in some ways at 50 years old, I feel like, well, now I'm faced with the prospect of starting things over, like a 25-year-old. Maybe I could just run my shop into the ground and just end up like so many guys do in my industry, where they just end up with little shops off the beaten path and they just kind of retire and die in there. They have their magazine stuff on the walls and their trophies in the corner, and it's just this hobby shop at that point. This town is full of them. LA is full of guys like that, because that's like the natural progression. But to me, that feels like a slow death. And I know that there are dreams that are waiting for me, that I could still accomplish stuff. I could still have a whole nother career. And the only reason why I'm talking about this for myself is maybe someone out there might be able to relate. You don't want to box yourself in. You have to allow yourself to move forward. And this is what I've been telling myself. The motorcycle phase of Sinister City Motorcycles, that was a phase. A 20-year phase, but it was a phase. It doesn't have to be the only thing in my life. I can allow myself to move forward. I don't have to box myself in with it. It's just career. But career is important to people. I've thought about moving from Florida. I've lived in Florida now, for 18 years. I moved here in 2004. Time flies when you're building bikes. I moved here for one reason and one reason only. The only reason why I moved to Florida was because of the motorcycle scene. LA was too expensive. LA was for rich people. To rent a warehouse in Los Angeles, you could spend $10,000 a month for the same size warehouse, smaller even, than what I could rent here in this town for $500 a month. $500 compared to $10,000. I came here, rented a warehouse with 5 other motorcycle shops in walking distance for $500 a month. When I was looking in Los Angeles for motorcycle shops for between $5,000 and $7,000 a month, and just figuring, well, I'm gonna have to live here too. I'm gonna move into the back of this warehouse. So it was a no-brainer. I had to take a risk. Think outside the box. I've been thinking about moving out of Florida and it makes me a little nervous. I'm very settled in here. Why would I give up this house with a pool? Well, because there could be something greater. You never know what life has waiting for you. What's down that path? But you're gonna have to get up off that bench and risk it. I don't know, I hope somebody's getting what I'm talking about. I know I'm speaking to somebody out there, I'm not sure who it is. Thanks for watching.